Welcome to the Studio Chat podcast. My name is Barbara Thompson. Each week I'll be bringing you a self-care expert or a message to help you to discover how to live your best life and understand your mind-body connection. Thanks for spending some time with me today. Now, let the Studio Chat begin. In this episode of Studio Chat, I chat with Bridget. Bridget is a naturopath and the founder of Clemence Organics. In 2011, Bridget branched out into her private practice in the Blue Mountains, where she began to attract clients who had skin concerns. She developed protocols for addressing a wide variety of skin concerns. However, she just felt her clients were faced with a lack of skincare products that were gentle and made from organic ingredients, but was still able to deliver powerful results. So based on traditional herbs and the latest research, she decided to develop her own. And after years of perfecting her formulations, Clemence Organics was born. We chat everything to do with skincare in this podcast. Does skincare actually make a difference? Is it effective? Can organic skincare actually work? And what is the best skincare for you? We talk about different types of skin concerns. Anything from, we have a really good chat actually about pigmentation, about aging and mature skin, eczema and dermatitis and rosacea, and also about scarring. And we just have a chat about my personal experience with her products and the difference I've seen in the last 2.5 years. And we have a bit of a funny story in this episode about my encounters with seaweed. So you need to listen right to the end to listen to what that story is. But this podcast, this episode today really is for any of you that are listening that really want to take your skincare and your skin health to the next level. Use products that actually work and are 100% natural and organic. And this range is Australia's most awarded organic skincare. And it's just like beauty without compromise. And when you get your hands on any of her products, Bridget's products, you will notice the difference. So let's dive in and have a chat about skincare and skin products with the founder, Bridget from Clemence Organics. I'd love to welcome my guest today, Bridget. She's a naturopath and founder of Clemence Organics. Now, some of you may know that I've personally used this product for about 2.5 years, and I have seen incredible results. And the reason why I have seen these incredible results is why I've brought it into my studio for all my clients as well. Because not only does Clemence Organics create Australia's best certified organic and naturopathically formulated skincare, but through the use of ingredients which are not harmful to the environment, sustainable packaging, and conscious manufacturing, they help reduce the impact on the environment on our skincare routines that we have every day. I truly love everything you do, Bridget. It's just incredible. I'd love for you to share with my listeners a bit about you and what you do.
Well, firstly, thanks so much for having me, Barb. I'm so thrilled to be a part of your podcast today. So a bit about me and what I do. My background is in naturopathy, but I guess I'm just trying to think. Going back, I grew up in the Hunter Valley of New South Wales on a property. My mum was always a bit of a hippie, so I grew up kind of with like a herbal kind of background. And I was always mucking around with tinctures and making stuff out of plants from the garden from a very young age. So there was always an interest there. And I guess maybe that's what encouraged me to go on and study naturopathy later on in my 20s. And it was in my naturopathy degree, the last year of my degree, that my dad was diagnosed with throat cancer. And I remember going to the oncologist's appointment with my parents in Brisbane, and they gave my dad this tube of cream, which was it was a barrier cream for him to use for the radiation treatment. And I just remember taking one look at it going, oh my gosh, that is just full of stuff. I want to say a naughty word, but I'll say stuff. And I threw it straight crap. I threw it in the bin, and I said, I'm going to make you something better, because I know that this is not going to help your skin. I really want something that is going to help to soothe and heal that radiation damage. And so I went back to my university professors and I did some research, and I made a balm for him, which was it had a few kind of core ingredients in it, but I guess the main ingredient was calendula, and it worked really well, like so well that the oncology nurses were commenting on how he had very little redness and wondering what he was using, because it was paled in comparison to what the other patients on the ward were showing. And I guess for me that was a bit of an aha moment, because I saw that something as simple as a balm could make a really big difference. And obviously for my dad, it wasn't just about not being as red, it meant less painful as well. And I don't know if you've ever known anyone who's had radiation treatment for cancer, but they can get, it can not just be red, but they can get cracks and it can get infected, and it can be really awful. So I felt really proud that and grateful that I could help my dad in a really simplistic way. And I think that it's something that I carried on as I went out, finished my degree. I went into research in complementary medicine. I actually worked on a cancer research project with complementary therapies. And then when I went into practice, having that experience of making skincare, certainly for my dad, that worked so well, I was then making products for my clients who had skin issues. So if someone came to me with eczema or rosacea or a scarring or something that they kind of hadn't been able to resolve, I looked at stuff on the market and I couldn't find anything that really ticked all the boxes for me. It had to be 100% natural. It had to be as organic as possible. And it had to really work. Like, there's so many products on the market that just have so much water and stuff in them that do absolutely nothing. And really, I just don't see what the point is. So I was making products for my clients, and very quickly it became a large portion of my business. So much so that I was selling it at local stores, selling it at local markets. And I think when I had my son, it was about that point when I had my son that I decided that maybe there's something in this. And I thought, well, I might consider actually having a go at this and turning it into a skincare brand. But I've kind of rambled on for a bit there. I don't know if you want to ask me something.
It's great because this is your story, and this is what we can see each other on video today. And one of the first things I said to Bridget was, I was just staring at her skin and I was like, oh my God, you look incredible. And you know what she said to me? I've just come back from a run. Can't even tell. Like, literally, your skin is absolutely glowing and it's flawless, to the point where I'm sitting here looking at you going, is she wearing makeup or is she not wearing? And you were like, no, I don't wear makeup. So guys, and that's the beautiful testament to your products and to what you walk the talk. You actually follow through, and that's the beautiful thing. Skincare today is so complicated, but it actually doesn't need to be complicated. And guys, looking at her skin now is just flawless and incredible. And so today we're going to talk about skincare, because I think it's a really understated tool for self-care. I know many women that just don't bother, because it could be a financial thing, it could be a time thing, it could be they've never seen anyone around them use skincare. So if they do, they might feel like, oh, I'm a bit high maintenance, or it feels like that they may pigeonhole themselves into something else. But skincare is all about, I think there's nothing better than when your skin is glowing and it feels soft and it feels just healthy. It just gives you confidence, and it gives you like really good for your self-esteem. But then also there's, I work with a lot with my clients too, and you'd understand this too from the naturopath side, is our bodies are constantly changing. So what works for us, like today, in 5 or 10 years time, say if we've never had any skin conditions, we may just wake up one day and have a bit of dermatitis or eczema, or we might start having rosacea or something, because a lot of them can be diet related and lifestyle related too. And the beautiful thing about all your products is it's kind of a one-stop shop for everything. And I just really want to share with my listeners today that it's Australia's most awarded organic skincare range. And it's just, there was a quote on your website that I saw a while ago that I just want to read out to my listeners. And it says, I believe that you should expect more from what you put on your skin, and that it's time to evolve to healthy yet powerful, effective skincare. So I'd love for you to, a lot of people think organic skincare or skincare is like a cream or it's an oil and it doesn't really do much. But I'd love for you just to expand a little bit more on what that means to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think it was around that time where I was kind of, my skincare business was building up, and I was sort of, should I actually make an effort with this and turn it into a brand, that we took this trip to France. And it was on that trip that we spent time in Provence, and it was a climbing holiday. My husband's a rock climber, so we went climbing with some friends. And so when he was climbing, when I got my downtime, I just went to anywhere that was skincare related. So I visited L'Occitane, and I visited a bunch of other sort of natural leaning, anywhere I could find skincare manufacturers or stores. And I just wanted to try as many products as I could, because I think for me, I kind of felt like, I'm in France. France is renowned for its skincare products. If anywhere, is a great place to go and do some research, and this is it. So I tried hundreds of products over that time. And ultimately I came away like, I had a certain amount of money that I wanted to spend on these products to bring home for research. And I bought bugger all ultimately, because I was so disappointed with what I was finding. And like some of the products, sure, they felt and they smelled lovely, but when I looked at the ingredients, I always felt let down. It was always majority of it was water, or there was other fillers and ingredients in there that I knew from my own experience had no need to be in there, other than, taking up space to bulk out a product. And so I think it was the result of that trip, maybe come home and realize that what I was making was a better option, because everything that I put into my products is highly effective. It's there for a reason, and it's there to actually make a real difference to skin. And, I think skincare is the beauty world, it's such a weird and wonderful world. There's so much going on in terms of, how the feelings that people associate with skincare, the emotions they get from products that maybe their mother used, and they want to use something similar, or that's been handed down to them, or looking at social media stuff that influencers use. I think that people can easily get confused and sold on what is a good skincare product, for them. But I was coming at it from a health perspective, and I'm like, I'm putting this stuff in here and I'm making this product because I know that this will actually improve the health of skin, that this will make a real difference to skin. And that's why our products work so well, as opposed to other stuff that might just smell nice or, look pretty on a shelf.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I think the hard thing too is that the beauty industry is not really regulated, that someone can say it's an anti-wrinkle cream or whatever, and there's like you said, full of water or full of stuff that you're putting on your face, and it's actually doing nothing, but it smells good and has pretty packaging, and all the influencers use it. So hey, win-win. I'd love to share a little bit about my personal experience with your products too, because I think it's really important. I've always cared for my skin as best as I can, like through uni or through whatever my budget could entail. But even for me, that I know a lot about skincare, it still is so confusing, and it's like nutrition and skincare is kind of the same. As there's not one fix for everyone, but you've got to treat the skin or treat your body as it is showing now, as it's presenting whatever signs it's giving you, to do that. But I also believe that when I said to you before we started recording this, was I think about 12 to 15 years ago, I used a product range. It's a French product range called Declure. And so this was probably 15 or so years ago. And I remember using it, just having this luxurious feeling of, oh, wow, I'm in a date. Like, when you pump something out of a bottle and you put it onto your fingertips and you put it on your skin, there's something about it that you just kind of, people, if you know, So if I'm saying this and people can resonate, it's like, you're just not in that room for a couple of seconds. It's just this pampering, this self-care of, I feel really good in this moment. I'm just caring for myself. And it can just be simple as cleansing your skin or putting some oil on your skin or something like that. But it was interesting, before I even really looked into your business or looked into, I actually saw years ago an ad in a natural type magazine when I started to get into this stuff for myself, for my business, and that I did some research. And I never read a magazine, like ever. And I picked one up from the supermarket and happened to just find your big A4 ad. and read it, and there's something about it that resonated. Obviously, I've got a marketing background, so all your marketing, like, just is so on point. So for me, from a marketing point of view, I'm like, wow, I love this company already. Let me dig deep and find out more about it. And I've got some samples from you. I'll never forget that first sample I used, like the cleanser and stuff. As soon as I put it on my skin, it took me back to that Decleor French range, that I was like, oh my God, this is luxurious. And I actually had to go back and read the packet and read the website and go, this is organic? Because my experience with organic in the past has been like, I love things that smell quite good. That's one of my strongest senses is smell. I love things that smell good. Like, it really brings me joy. And with your products, some of them, smell, some of them, but they all feel so luxurious. They feel like, literally, when I put the oil on my face in the morning, it's just like I have a glow, and it makes me feel good for the day. And I know it's something so simple, but that's what I wanted to share with everyone too, because I didn't know the story behind going to France and stuff.
Yeah, and that's why it has a French name. So I kind of, when I came back from that trip, because it was the kick I needed to make that change and to invest into the range. I chose a French name because look, I had struggled with naming my naturopathic practice in the past. I had all these weird and wonderful names, but I love the French language, and I think it's such a beautiful language. And when I saw the word Clemence, I just felt like it really embodied everything I wanted the range to be. So like, it means Clemence, it means mild, merciful, gentle. And so for me, like, I was all about the products had to be mild on your skin. So they're very gentle products. They're perfect for sensitive skin, gentle on the environment, and also gentle on the planet. We're really thoughtful about the way that we package things. And back to your point about like I've never been a major skincare person myself. And so when I think also the older I've got, the more I realize that those couple of minutes that I take for myself of a morning and an evening are my little, me moments. And I want to make that minute or two just as beautiful experience as I can. And so it was really important that all of the products felt beautiful. They all feel really, really, they're really rich and luscious. And I mean, look, the main reason for that is they don't have any water in them. Like, it's just pure, oils and butters and only good stuff. But the scents also had to be, really beautiful, luxurious scents, but again, not too strong, because I don't like strong scents. I don't wear perfume or anything like that. So they had to be like all very gentle scents, but at the same time, the essential oils that are in there are very carefully chosen for their therapeutic properties. So it I don't know, it's this kind of beautiful alchemy, I guess, that just works really well. And it gives, I love that therapeutic moment. I really believe that having that minute where I close my eyes and I cleanse my face, and it does feel beautiful, and it feels pampering, and, I bloody deserve it. I deserve that little moment for myself. And I know I'm doing the right thing for my skin in that moment too. And that feels really good too.
Yeah, 100%. So one side about skincare is obviously like having glowing skin or whatever, but I think what I'd really love to dive in with you now is to talk about skin concerns. So a lot of us, I think, would go see a dermatologist, or would, like, if we have some people I know that have eczema or dermatitis, just live with it. Actually don't realize that they can treat it, or they buy so many different creams from the pharmacy, or they may go, but a lot of us humans, we're really busy. One of the things that we're not consistent with stuff, and then, it doesn't work. But with your products, because I have used them, they're tried and true. Like, if someone has pigmentation, is something that a lot of, especially as we get older, my listeners living in New Zealand or Australia, so this, obviously our sun is very strong. So, I'd love you to talk us through the range of like how your range can help pigmentation.
Yeah, so I think when I first started designing the range, outside of the initial products I was making for my clients, the next person I was looking out for was myself. So I was addressing issues that I had, so I live in a dry climate. I live in the Blue Mountains of New South Wales. It's a very dry climate. So hydration was key. So all of the range tends to be on the hydrating side more than anything. but also getting older. You know, I want to look good for as long as I can, and I'll never be one to have Botox or surgery and things like that. It's just not my game. And so I'll do everything I can in, you know, from a naturopathic, from a nutrition, from a skin health point, to keep my skin as healthy as I can. And so when I formulated the products, I kind of was aiming at all my main skin issues to make sure that I was going to, you know, keep my skin as healthy as possible. So really, pigmentation is something that it's always been an issue for me. You know, I've always been a bit haphazard with my sun protection in my youth. And, you know, as you get older, you kind of realize it is something that prevention is definitely better than a cure. And I'm much better with sunscreen now. But yeah, pigmentation is something that I have always had to deal with, and, you know, friends and family as well. And so I've done a lot of work over the years to find key ingredients and natural and organic ingredients that actually are effective for pigmentation. And so, you know, we get amazing results with our products for pigmentation. And I don't want to a spoiler alert, but we actually have a new product coming out in a few weeks' time, which is it is actually aimed solely at pigmentation, and it is amazing. It is, I think it's actually quite groundbreaking. So watch this space. It only gets better from here.
I just got good because I love that, because with your range, what I obviously use in combination of everything. It was the Repair Face Serum. Am I using the right? Yeah, that. I noticed there were times where it might be a couple of weeks where I need to order some, but I just hadn't got around to it. And my pigmentation was started for me, I would say, late 20s, early 30s, because I was on the pill for such a long time, and the pill gave me pigmentation. And even though I haven't been on the pill for like 6 years, and that's when I got into all the health stuff and realized what I was doing. But for me, even though I changed to a different pill, the damage was already there. And even now I still have a little bit. But with that serum, consistency, I'd use it all the time. And it wasn't long before I was like, oh my God, my pigmentation here, and around, sorry, people can't see, I'm putting it to my forehead, underneath my eyes, and on my upper lip. It just cleared up. Like, there was still a little bit there. But when I didn't use your products, 2 or 3 weeks, I got late, need to order some more, it came back. And that was the first time that I went, because you're thinking of so many other things during the day. And as a business owner and other things, it's like, I'll just put this on I love this, it feels good. I knew I was doing good for my skin, but it wasn't until I ran out. Then I looked in the mirror and was like, oh my gosh, my skin's getting it. Oh my God, I don't have the product. Oh my God. Like,
that serum is amazing. It's amazing. And, you know, I originally made it for scarring. So it was originally aimed towards scar tissue repair. I have keloid scars. I've had them since I was a kid. It's, you know, my skin just produces excess collagen when it gets injured. And so I needed an oil, and I'd always used rosehip oil, but it just wasn't quite enough. It never quite did enough for my scars. So I played around with blends, and I kind of made this little blend that I found really worked for my keloid scars. But it also was amazing for my acne scars, because I had acne in my teens. And so I was a popper. So I was left with scars into my 20s, and it worked really well on that as well. And so, and it works really well on pigmentation. Like, I'm really lucky that I have managed to get rid of most of my pigmentation. I still have a little bit here and there, but it'll be gone in a few months' time once the new product comes out. But yeah, it works. That product really works really well, because it's just about skin regeneration, and it just works brilliantly on so many different levels. It even works really well on young skin. It feels weird. I think people find it weird putting an oil on their skin, but it has this really gentle astringency to it, and it just helps to balance the skin beautifully, and just balance those skin sebum levels. And we get amazing results with that product. It's our number one our Ultimate Face Cream has always been a number one bestseller, but the serum is very close to pipping it in the last few months.
Wow, that's amazing, because it's just, with the skin concerns, I know there's a lot of people like, this is why we're on the podcast, and thank you for joining me on the podcast today, because I want to bust some myths, because it's just so confusing, like where to start with skincare, how to use it. And it was really interesting when I picked up your products. One of the things, again, that I learned, and I know a lot about skincare, was your AM and PM routine. And I'm an overuser of products up until this point.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of hair. I've got like a big face, always have, so when people say you need to use a little product, I would always use their, like, especially with my hair, when I go to the hairdresser, they have to use 3 times the amount of whatever. So, but people say, oh, just use the 50-cent piece. I'd always use the 50 cent and be like, it's not enough. But with your products, over the 2.5 years I've used them, my product use has got smaller and smaller, because it's pure product. But also I'd love for you to talk me through like the AM and PM routine of like, especially if someone's they're listening to this and they're like, you know what, it's time I actually invest in I love your range because it's not overly priced as well. It's really, well priced for everyone to use your skincare. And if anyone's listening to this, I'd love for them to know, like, maybe this is a 2-pronged question, where to start, but also you don't need to. A lot of people over exfoliate and over cleanse their face. So I'd love for you to talk me through where to start and AM and PM routine.
Yeah, and I think you're exactly right. People overuse skincare, not just in the amount of times a day, but the amount of product they use. And we are always having to re-educate our customers as to how much and what they should be doing. So look, in terms of the best place to start, we have our correction trio, which it's just a cleanser, a toner, and a serum. Like, that is a really nice, simple place to start. They're 3 really beautiful products that can be used by all ages. And so I think it can be as simple as starting there. And then you can add in a moisturizer if you like, and an exfoliant. But look, it's really, I think if you've got that as your core, then you're doing the right thing. In terms of routine, like I'm a very busy person. I always am. It's just in my nature. And I have 2 young children, and I don't make a lot of time for myself. I don't have a lot of time for myself. So in the morning, my routine, and this is what we recommend to our customers as well, because this is what we find works really well with our range. Like when I'll have a shower, I will just splash my face. So I won't actually cleanse it. I will just sort of rinse it with the water in the morning. I will towel dry it. I'll give myself a quick spritz with one of our toner spritzers. And then I'll apply a few drops of the Repair Face serum. And then I will put my SPF on for the day. So that takes me, I don't know, 1 minute, 2 minutes to do my skin in the morning. It's super fast, super easy. There's no excuse not to do it. And that's how I get out of the door. And then of an evening, I might give myself a bit more time. So look, I'm a bath person. I love my bath. I will spend as much time in my bath as I possibly can. Evening is the best time to do it. And so when, I'll take that time in the evening to cleanse my skin. I'll also use, we have this beautiful 2-in-1 exfoliant and mask. And I will use that. I probably use it twice a week at the moment, I'll exfoliate it on my skin, I'll leave it on for a few minutes, and then I'll wash it off. And that, for me, I kind of designed that 2-in-1 element because I didn't want to have, I guess I don't go and get facials. Again, being busy, I don't do that stuff for myself very often. And so this is my little facial in a tube. It's quick and easy. I can fit it in between shampooing and conditioning my hair. And it just feels luxurious, and it makes my skin feel amazing, and I feel amazing for doing it. So I would do that, and then hop out of the bath or shower and do my toner, a couple of drops of my serum, and a little bit of face cream and eye cream as well. So look, I like the nighttime. I feel like, it's a little bit more of a ritual, but again, it only takes me ultimately, I don't know, 5 minutes tops to do all that stuff. And I feel like that's when I actually have the time. I'm not rushing and thinking about what I have to do with the day. I'm just making sure that when I lay my head on the pillow, that my face feels, clean and fresh. And I've done everything I can to sort of because when you go to sleep at night, that's when your skin repair happens. That's when all your collagen production happens. So I have done everything I can to give myself the best chance of waking up looking fresh and youthful as possible. And I said to you this morning when we jumped on, I've actually just come out of a run. I haven't actually had a shower or washed my face or anything this morning. And yeah, my skin looks pretty good. And that's because I took that time last night to do that little bit of a routine. And, it definitely does. It is a testament to yourself if you can take that couple of minutes to look after your skin every day.
I wouldn't say it looks like good. It looks incredible. So I just wanted people to know that it actually looks incredible. And it's interesting because your morning and night routine, as you were saying your products, I was saying them with you. I actually do exactly the same from the educating, from the touch point marketing points that you've sent in the packets that I've got. I thought, what, I'm going to give this a go, because I would always, like people say, double cleanse, and I always find that I go by how my skin feels. So even without me knowing, in my 20s, without me even having any skin knowledge, when I go like this and I feel like little balls of, like, you know what I mean, when you feel like your skin has like excess product on it, when you wipe it like that, and like the other product I used to use, I could feel that it wasn't smooth, like there was a bit of grabbing. That's when I know it's time to exfoliate. And so I've done that. But even though I would leave it sometimes for weeks and weeks, because I would just go by how my skin feels. Does it need an exfoliant? Okay, yeah, it does. So I would use it because my skin's so sensitive. And I would find that some, through the years, I've followed things like the double cleansing or the cleansing in the morning and night. And I feel like it was just, obviously it was getting stripped, but I could feel it in myself. And I'd be like, actually, just because you say I'm not going to follow that, because I, even with my limited knowledge, it didn't feel right for my skin.
Yeah, that's right. And the whole cleansing thing, it's a major, huge re-education point for us, like trying to convince people that they only need to cleanse their skin once a day. Why would I get up in the morning, having just slept 8 hours and done nothing other than, have some breakfast or whatever? Why would I wash my face again? Why would I cleanse it? I haven't done anything overnight to justify, my skin's not dirty. It's just, it doesn't actually, if you stop and think about it, it doesn't make sense to wash your face in the morning. You only need to cleanse it at the end of the day when if you've worn makeup, if you've been sweaty, if you've been out in the city, like if when you've had all that stuff on your skin, that's when you clean your skin. Don't cleanse it in the morning, because all you're doing is overstimulating your skin sebum, and it leads to oily skin. It leads to pimples. It actually doesn't help, with things like, for more on the other end, for like mature skin, it dries it out. So it's definitely a big no-no to double cleanse. Sorry, not double cleanse, cleanse twice a day. You can do a double cleanse with our cleanser if you're wearing like a thick makeup. We do find sometimes people wear like a heavy foundation and they might need to double cleanse in that moment. That's totally different. But it's just about, if you're cleansing twice a day, you're making more trouble for your skin than what it's worth. And you're making it harder for your skin to do its job. You're disrupting the barrier, which then, can lead to all sorts of other skin issues. So definitely cleanse once a day, and use a cream cleanser as well. That's a key point. Like I was always, especially as a teenager in my 20s, a massive foaming cleanser person, and I got used to that squeaky clean feeling at the end of using a foaming cleanser, and that's how I thought my skin was meant to feel. And it took me a while to realize that your skin's not meant to feel squeaky clean. Like it's supposed to feel like normal, like slightly moist and kind of soft, and not not stripped of everything. So definitely cream cleanser once a day.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I do. So some of my clients would have aging and mature skin. So I guess like hydration is really important too. So with your products, they're really hydrating and like they're good for everyone, aren't they? They're good for people in their like teens with skin issues like acne or rosacea, or then you go to the mature skin and then stretch marks and scarring and.
Yeah. Well, look, our products they are great for everybody, and they're just I wrote a blog post and it was called "I Don't Believe in Skin Types," and I think that kind of summed up my thought on the whole skin type thing. Like, I don't believe that we all have one skin type. We're all very changeable, like depending on, females hormonally where we are in the month, or, perimenopause, postmenopause, menopause, like it's always changing. So I don't think you should ever label yourself with a skin type. It's just all about understanding your skin and, where you're at. So we really tried to educate on, which products to use, seasonally, as to where you're at, so it's just about using, more of one product or less of one product. Or with our moisturizing, we do have a lighter option as opposed to a richer option. So we have kind of a full range to cater for all ages and all moments of skin life.
Yeah, exactly. Because rosacea is a big one, isn't it? It can be really uncomfortable for people and really can be soul destroying.
Oh, absolutely. Like I've had clients come to me with rosacea that they've had for years, and they find it really stressful and really emotionally draining to deal with, because your face is such it's sort of what we present to the world. It's how people see us. It's how they they take us in. And when people get rosacea, it can not only be actually physically uncomfortable, it also gives, affects people's self-esteem. And to be able to help clients with that, and to get emails from customers saying, you've changed my life. Like, it sounds crazy, out there, because it's just skincare, but it can actually, something simple can make a really big difference. And I think, especially like you mentioned, with certain skin issues, people are inclined to go and see a dermatologist because they feel like it's well, it is a skin health issue. So maybe they feel like they need a skin doctor, specialist to help them with that. But often, unfortunately, most dermatologists would lead you down the kind of medicated route. And most of the time it doesn't actually help or make a big difference. We have so many clients who come to us having used Rosex and other medicated skin treatments for years to no effect, and then moving on to our range and then seeing a massive change in their skin, because really it's all about restoring the skin to health. It's not about just like specifically targeting one issue. It's just about returning it to what it was, returning it to health, returning it to balance, homeostasis. That's all what I try and do from a naturopathic perspective.
When we talk about skin health, we think of the face, but a lot of women forget like the neck and the chest area, but also the body. And I find I don't know where I've picked this up, because my mum never did any skincare or never looked after her skin. But I still remember at high school, and then the girls that went to my high school be like, oh my God, Barbs, I remember you doing it. I remember I played a lot of netball and was very active. And for some reason, God knows what chemicals were in it, but doesn't matter. For a very young age, I've done this ever since I've been 15. I've moisturized my entire body every day. And I mean my like neck, arms, I can't reach my back, but obviously my chest and my stomach and my boobs and my legs and everything. And I remember doing my legs one day for some reason at high school after netball practice. And all these girls surrounded me and they're like, what are you doing? And they're like, oh, you've always got shiny legs. What? And they're all like writing down. It was just a product from the supermarket. God knows what it was. But I remember them going, oh, I actually always had, they did it because they wanted shiny legs too. I didn't do it for shiny legs. I did it because I don't know where I picked it up. I don't even, it was just something in me that I was like, I want to care for myself and I'm just going to moisturize my body. I didn't do it to look a certain way. I did it because of how it made me feel. And to this day, I still do it every single morning.
That's brilliant. And, you will reap the rewards of that long term. You will have healthier, shinier skin for many years to come, I'm sure. You can tell when people look after their skin, and arms and legs and our bodies are often so neglected. And so it is really important to do that body care. We have beautiful body care products. And again, a lot of them are formulated from a health perspective. So helping to resolve eczema and dermatitis, dermatitis, on people's arms and legs. But it is like, the products are really, our body moisturizers are really beautiful. They're such high quality. You could put them on, you could put them on your face. Like there's not a lot of difference between skin on your face and skin on your body ultimately. But, people always see face different to body. So different products, different areas. But I do have people who do put our hand and body lotion on their face because it's such a beautiful, rich product, So I think, looking after your body is totally underrated. And at this time of the year, like with this colder weather, it's a must, if you want to prevent the dry, scaly, cracked skin, then make sure you moisturize your body. Absolutely.
And one thing too I picked up was, I think originally your body oil was made for your kids when they were babies. Is that right? You were looking for something for your kids?
Yeah, that's right. So when I had my first child, I was looking for, I remember being in a health food store and I was looking for a moisturizer and an oil that I thought I could use on them, which was going to be 100% natural and as organic as possible. And I couldn't find anything. So I thought, oh, well, I could do baby products. And so I made a balm and I made an oil for them, which I used, for nappy rash and for my son had some eczema, it worked really well. It's a beautiful product, and I kept getting emails from my customers saying, I love that oil, I steal it for myself, so, and then they kept buying it after their baby wasn't a baby anymore for themselves. And so actually I ended up renaming it last year to body oil rather than baby oil, because my kids aren't babies anymore either. They're young children now, but I still use the oil because it's just the most glorious experience to put a body oil on your skin when you get out of the bath or shower. Like it's just, it feels heavenly. You feel really special.
One thing too I want to touch on is, you mentioned that when you were looking for a product that was 100% natural and organic, you couldn't find one. I'd love to just take this time to highlight for people to not look at the packaging as of such, read the ingredients. A lot of people with marketing noise too, it may have a certified organic stamp or sticker or logo on it. It may say it's 100% natural. So many people are pulling it off the shelves and using it on themselves or their kids, but they actually don't turn the packet around and actually read the ingredients. Do you think that's a really good place to start too for people that are looking for natural alternatives for their skin? To educate themselves?
Absolutely. Like I think I'm a major ingredients reader. I do it with food, everything. I'm the person in the supermarket that will stand there for 5 minutes. My kids hate shopping with me because I read everything. I want to know exactly what's in stuff. And I think, I think it's challenging for people to learn to read ingredients. It's because there's a lot of long words in there. There's a lot of Latin words often. So it's hard for people to know that what they're getting is actually natural and or organic. And there's a lot of, greenwashing. There's a lot of branding out there that says, oh, I'm natural or I'm organic. And, maybe 0.1% of what is in that product is. So I think if you're only starting out and you don't know where to start, then look for a logo, a certified organic logo, the ACO logo or the Cosmos logo or the Bud logo. That's kind of a very clear and easy way to know that product has gone through, the ingredients have gone through rigorous checks to ensure that everything in there is 100% natural and meets a certain standard. Like being ACO Cosmos certified, I can tell you it's a really it's a challenging thing to go through to achieve that level of standard. They are really demanding, and it makes me appreciate it even more. And because I know, that how very detailed they are in terms of what they look at in terms of ingredients, packaging. They want to be absolutely certain that what is in there is exactly what you say it is. So if you're ever just starting out, look for a logo. But if not, have a go at reading ingredient labels. Look for certified organic, look for asterisks. People will often use asterisks. Maybe start to read up on blogs, or there's some actually great apps you can also download, which will educate you about different ingredients if you don't know what it is and you wonder if it may or may not be harmful to your health. But when you said that, I was thinking in my head, that was what I wanted my brand to be. I wanted it to be trustworthy. I wanted someone to be able to pick up a Clemence Organics product and go, I trust Bridget. Like, I trust this brand. I know that she would never put anything in there that would be potentially harmful to my health or to the environment. And that's what I strive for in my brand. I want people just to see the brand, the logo, and go, I can trust that, because I think that there's so much branding out there, so many other brands that try and sell the natural organic, and that, you know, most of the time they're just lying to you. It's just false advertising. So it's I think it takes quite a bit to understand what's good stuff and what's not good stuff.
Yeah. I think the last couple of years has really shifted a lot of people's mindsets and lifestyle to look after their health, look after their wellness, but also start questioning, let's look at the ingredients. Is this really working for me? Like, you know, so a lot of companies, especially in the beauty industry, have jumped onto that with all these fake claims, because it's not really regulated enough. So they can say whatever and people just believe it. But it's like, use a product for a while, and if your skin's not changing for the better, dump it. Like, it's not working. It's not doing what it's meant to do. Now, I love this part of my podcast. So I talk about the golden nuggets, right? So for me, about skincare, what I'd like a listener to listen to, I used to be like a sales rep for many, many years. So I did a lot of driving in Auckland. And one thing I've noticed now, nearly being 42, is I look down on the top of my hands, and I use your serum for that, but it's getting better. But I have pigment. I used to think it was like fake tan stuff, because I used to do a lot of tanning and stuff, just fake tan. And I always used to think it was just like fake tan remnants. And then sometimes I'd like start like exfoliating it off, and I was like, it's not. So I don't have any of that on my body. I hardly have any freckles. And I was like, oh my God, I think it's pigmentation. And then I thought, actually, all those years of driving, yes. And then like that was before SPF was like, you put, you know, it's only put in the last 3 years, or not even that where people are being educated to wear SPF on their face every single day, no matter what that's your last point of skincare in the morning. One thing, golden nugget from me to my listeners today is put SPF on the top of your hands. Almost, I would say, year round. And that's something that I would love to pass on to, you know, anyone listening.
That's really great advice. I do that in the morning. Like, I put my product on my face, and whatever's left, just rub over the back of my hands. I do that with everything I put on my face. Serum, everything just goes back. But yeah, whenever you finish putting on your face, just rub it over the back of your hands, because the skin on the back of your hands is similar to the skin under your eyes. It's very thin, and so it shows everything quite quickly. So definitely backs of the hands. I'm with you there.
Yeah, it's getting better, but it was something that was my I'm getting old moment. You know, sometimes when you have a look in the mirror, you see something, and that was one of my pillars of, okay, no, I need to sort this out. This is not okay. Have you got a golden nugget for anyone listening today about something like that in your life that's been a bit of a game changer for you?
I think like the only cleansing once a day is a massive game changer, because that's beneficial not just for skin conditions, but for mature skin. You know, it really makes a difference to both, just that cleansing once a day. But I also want to say, going back to talking about natural organic, and why, like, I guess the reason why that's important, and why it is, you know, you are looking after your health. Like, for me, part of my core reason why I started this range is because of my father's experience with cancer. My father did pass away from cancer the following year, and my sister passed away from cancer almost 6 years ago. And so I have cancer history in my family. And so health is something I'm extremely conscious of. And so I would never put anything on my skin that could potentially compromise that health. So I think it's really, I really feel like it's important that you take your health into your own hands, you know, that you're very aware of what you eat, what you put on your skin, what's in your home, you know, what paint is on your walls, what's, you know, all of that stuff, what's in your clothing. I really feel like ultimately we are the only ones that are responsible for our health. So it's really important that you take the time to educate yourself and make those decisions to give yourself the best chance of living a long and healthy life.
That's an amazing nugget. And I think too, people, if you're listening to this, when you get skincare that works, it's a game changer. It changes your life. When you eat nutritious food, it changes your life. When you add these self-care pillars to your life, I don't think it's underestimated how much it can really change your life for the better. So I know, I have, and the other thing too, before I wrap up for today, is I do want to mention, it's a fairly new product for you guys, is your bath salts and stuff.
Yep.
And I was lucky enough to have a sample of it and try that the other night. Again, anything that you do is just, as soon as I opened the packet, I kind of laughed and went, oh yeah, this is Bridget's product. Like, as I ripped it open and saw the product and smelt it, I was like, oh. And you know what I loved about it is I've used all sorts of, bath salts before with the petals and stuff in it. What petals are those? They're not
rose petals.
Yeah, that's it. So I've used them before with big chunks, and you're sitting in the bath and they're just like, I don't know, something about it is, it's relaxing, but it's almost like yuck. It's almost like when you go to the beach and seaweed touches you. Like, I used to be the kid that would have the massive meltdown when I was on the beach, and my brother used to throw it at me because I used to have these massive, man, if anyone was watching me, I used to go and go, oh, I'm not touching it. The seaweed just touched my leg. I was that kid. And for some reason, rose petals brings that bit of trauma. Like, I've used bath salts before, and I've been in the bath and been like, ugh, like, it's nice, but I don't like it. And then what I loved about your bath salts was it's just the right amount, and I didn't have that seaweed feeling, if that makes sense.
That is so good. I love that. Oh my God, I'm going to be thinking about that when I have a bath now. I'm going to think of you in the seaweed. Oh, that is so good. But no, thank you. There's a compliment at the bottom of that. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, no, look, the bath salts, like I said, I think right at the start, I'm a massive bath fan. I love a bath. I love the therapeutic benefits of having a bath, not just like the moment to relax and restore and think about your day, but what it actually does physiologically for you, for your skin, and so I'm always about like putting making the most of every situation. So I've always used bath salts. I've bought lots of stuff over the years, and I just use some simple magnesium salts. I'm not happy with that. I really want it to be, everything has to be like a really great experience for me. Life is short. I want every moment of my life to be as wonderful as it can be. So when I've been playing around with this mix of salts for a while, and I just I finally decided it was time to share it. And obviously wintertime is the perfect time for a bath, because it's just a joy. And like these salts, it's a really beautiful blend of salts. It has all that beautiful magnesium in there, so it's relaxing, but there's also some of my favorite things in there, like rosehip. It's in a lot of our skincare products because it works really well. But the rosehip fruit extract, it's something that people have been using in the pet industry for the last few years. Like I think they give it as like a supplement, to animals, because it helps with joint health and with inflammation, and with skin conditions. And so I've been mucking around with putting it in this bath salt blend for a while, and it creates this beautiful, like a red color. It's like a fruit red color, as well as some beautiful red French clay in there. And it just has the most beautiful effect on skin. Like, it's perfect if you have any kind of skin rashes, if you have eczema and dermatitis. It's really soothing and just beautiful. And so when you get out of the bath, I just feel like I've been soaking in all that goodness for a while, that it just makes my skin glow even more, and it really helps keep it healthy through these winter months.
Yeah, it's just incredible. So I know any of my clients have already given them some samples, but you can contact me for samples. But obviously, if you're listening to this, I'd love for them to, where can they find you and buy your products if they're not like around my area or not one of my clients? Like, where can they find you and get in contact?
So on our website, clemenceorganics.com, there's a list of our stockists around Australia. We're also stocked in Japan, and also in Hong Kong, and in China as well now, so internationally as well.
Wow, that's incredible. I just want to thank you for your time today, but also for delivering a product that, for some reason it talked to me because of your marketing got me in first. And like, I've got 20 years experience of marketing. So I know when someone knows what they're doing. But the cool thing about it is you know what you're doing, but you back it up with your products, which is very rare. And if you know me on a personal level, I only like really high quality. And the more older I'm getting, it's like with my food and everything, I'm really tuning things in now with my food, nutrition, and my training and my skincare. Like this year, it's really big for my skin health. So that's my big focus. But I'm really just starting to rein everything in. Everything I do is like quality. It's not quantity, it's quality. And I think it's important as women, we tend to put our health or put our self-care last because of the time or the money, or we just feel like we'll worry about it later, or we just don't deserve it. And I think there's that bit of selfish aspect too, that, oh gosh, I'm spending this money or I'm doing this, I'm very selfish, I must be not a nice person. So yeah, I'd love people to contact me or contact you about your skincare range, and actually just, try it. And then I'm going to hear back from you. And it's, I don't BS anyone. And so what I say is true and real, that it's a product that I've used many expensive, you can easily buy a skincare product for $150 to $180 now, and you think sometimes if you spend more money, that's going to be better for you. So that's
it's not. Most of the time you're paying for the marketing. Like all those big brands, you're paying for the marketing. And I feel like that makes me feel really wonderful when you say that with your marketing experience that my product spoke to you, because I haven't employed a marketer. Everything I write is from, it's my own writing. It's from my heart. It's from my experience. So it's real. And same with our products in terms of the way they're priced. They're priced purely on what they cost. Like they're not, they're not the cheapest products. They're sort of somewhere in the middle, because they're not, I wouldn't use the cheapest products on my skin because I want to look after my health and my skin. So you really are getting value for money. You're not paying for any marketing BS with my range, that's for sure.
Yeah, honestly, it just spoke to me. So I'd love, please check out Bridget's website and try, her products. It's going to change your life because it changed mine. So, and now I'm a proud stockist of your product. So I can't wait for my range in the studio to grow and for my clients to get the benefits that I've got, because I've got clients that are 20 to 60. That's kind of, I deal with all ages. So yeah, thank you very much for your time today, having a chat with me.
Thanks so much for having me, Barb.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and it has inspired you on your self-care journey. Please feel free to share this with a friend and subscribe over on Apple Podcast. I really love hearing your feedback, so guys, please feel free to write a review on Apple and let me know which part of this episode resonated with you the most. To fall in love with yourself is the first secret to happiness. To find out a bit more about Self-Care Studio or the Studio Chat podcast, head over to my Instagram page, self_care_studio, or on my website, selfcarebybarbarathomson.com.au. Really look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Look after you, and I'll catch you soon. Bye!